have saved and invested a total of $31,550 so far in 2026, and just thinking about it alone kind of blows my mind. When I started my investment journey, I never imagined that I would get to a point where I am investing this much amount of money in a short period of time. So welcome to another portfolio update video for the month ended June of 2026. I will try to make this video as short as possible, but I would really implore you to sit back and watch this video. And this is actually something that I had originally planned that I would be doing every month, but content creation is not for the faint-hearted. But over time, I've been practicing, I have been trying, testing out my skills on Instagram and on TikTok. And I think over time, I have gotten better and more comfortable at recording these videos. So I think you would get to see a lot more from me as we go into the future. I want to actually take my YouTube account very seriously. This is something that I like doing. This is something that I enjoy, and I want to show other people that it is actually possible to build wealth regardless of how much you make. Because before the year 2026, I never used to make as much money as I do make currently. My name is Stanley, and I am a first-generation immigrant trying to build wealth here in Canada, using just the combination of both my employment income and investing in the stock market. So keep that in mind as you go through this video. I do not have any other business that brings me money. I only have my regular job, and I also invest in stocks. And that is something that I have continued to learn and do over time. And I think I am beginning to get the hang of it. And I believe that going on from here on out, it's going to be a lot better. I would begin to see a lot of success. And I think at this point, my investment portfolio has actually also begun to do a lot of the heavy lifting for me when it comes to making me a little bit of money in addition to the income that I make. In this video, I will be going over my assets and investments. What has changed since my last net worth update video in April of 2026. I will also be showing my investment accounts and what I actually hold in them. I will share exactly how I am making this happen for myself, and maybe it could be something that gets to encourage somebody out there to begin their own investment journey or keep doing what exactly they are doing, because this actually works. And finally, I will also be discussing how I plan to go from where my portfolio currently sits to $200,000 in portfolio size. So I have a spreadsheet where I track my assets and my liabilities. And as of the time of recording this video, my total assets sits at $187,811.40. And my assets are pretty much made up of investment accounts. The regular accounts that is available to anybody who is living in Canada. I have a high yield savings account with a current balance of about $18,594. I have a tax-free savings account which currently sits at $86,321.52. I have an RRSP account which sits at $11,176.54. I have a first home savings account which sits at $37,219.34. I have $9,000 in loans that I give out to friends, which I am expecting back within a short period of time. My emergency fund actually sits at $500, which is pretty small, and I hope to do something about that. And then I have some other assets, which are stuff that I own back home with about a balance of $25,000. So that is all of my assets as at the time of recording this video. I currently have $42,630 of debt, and that is majorly made up of my student loans sitting at $30,630.49. So most of what I own is all sitting in an investment account to the tune of about $153,311. That is how much I have that is actually invested and actively working for me. I currently have 2 brokerage accounts, Wealthsimple and Questrade, and at some point in the future, I am going to have to merge one into the other, do away with one brokerage and just stick to one just to make my life a lot easier. I have links in the description of this video, so feel free to use my referral links. And in my Wealthsimple account, I currently have $111,346.17. This is my balance as at the time of recording this video. And then for my Questrade, I currently have a balance of $48,898.34. So far this year, I am currently up $13,383.50 in my Wealthsimple account, which amounts to a total return of 13.66% year to date. And in my Questrade account, I have a return of 6.10% year to date, and you will find out why down the road in this video. But in dollar figures, that amounts to $2,809.15 year to date in my Questrade brokerage account. So here are some of the things that has changed since my last update in April of 2026. My high yield savings account currently sits at $18,594, up from $500 as at April of 2026 to $18,594 in June of 2026. My tax-free savings account has also grown $78,000 in April of 2026 and now sitting at $86,000 in June of 2026. There has been little to no change in my RRSP account, but in my first home savings account, this has gone from $35,430 to $37,219. Debt, which is money that I have lent out, is up another $4,000 since the last time. My emergency fund is currently sitting at $500, down from $5,000 in April of 2026. It looks like I took out money from my emergency fund to lend to friends, which is not something that I would advise anybody to be doing. Other assets has gone up from $21,000 to about $25,000, which is up $4,000. My total asset is up about $31,000, up from $156,000 in April of 2026. Now let's look at my investment accounts and what I hold in them. I currently hold 7 stocks and 2 ETFs. I try to make my investments as simple as possible, which is why I have streamlined everything I own when it comes to my investments to just 7 stocks and 2 ETFs. I hold my ETFs in my Wealthsimple account, and if you look at my holdings right here, all you see is VFV, which is the Canadian version of VOO for those of you that live in the United States. I also have QQC, which is the Canadian version of the NASDAQ 100 ETF, QQM for the people who live in the United States. So just 2 ETFs in my Wealthsimple account, and that's it. And in my Questrade account, these are my positions. I hold 7 stocks, which are Meta, Google, Amazon, MasterCard, Duolingo, SoFi, Mercado Libre. And Meta is my largest holding with a market value of $8,600, followed by Google, $8,372, followed by Amazon at $6,728, followed by MasterCard at $5,906, followed by Duolingo at $1,813, and SoFi at $593, Mercado Libre at $554. The DLRU.TO position that you see here is just simply cash, which is money that I am looking to invest among some of the companies that I already own. So how am I able to do this so far this year? Investing this huge amounts of money, something that I have never done before. And the one thing that I would say majorly that has contributed to this is the fact that my income has gone up. I earn a little bit more than I used to earn since I have moved to Canada. my income over the past couple of years has actually gone up by at least 50%. And since I earn a little bit more now, I am also increasing the amount of money that I am investing. I used to invest an average of $1,000 every month, and now I try to invest at least $2,000 every month. So one thing that has contributed to this is my income, and there is something else that has contributed to it, which is pretty much a one-off thing that I get to do every year as well. And this is the second year of me doing it, and that is something that is called Ajo. If you are Nigerian, it is just simply a savings scheme where a group of friends come together, contribute money on a monthly basis, and everybody gets to take all of it every month, depending on the order that has been pre-selected from the start. And as at May of this year, the amount of money I collected for my own portion was $15,000. So for this year, I committed to contributing $1,500 every month. I and my friend started this in March of this year, and I am the third person in line to take what has been contributed by everybody. And in May of this year, I got a total of $15,000. I have so far been able to invest $5,550 in January of this year, which actually came from a bonus that I got from my employment. In April, I invested $8,000 in my first home savings account. And in June of this year, I contributed $18,000 to my high yield savings account. And this money that I contributed here was just the entire thing I got from the Ajo contribution. And that $15,000 is part of the money that I owe to my friends. And I've been able to pay this amount down a little bit, and the balance now sits at $10,500. And if everything goes according to plan, I expect to pay off this amount of money by January of 2027. So these are the things that has made it possible for me to contribute $31,550 in 2026 so far, and this is still July of 2026, and we actually have a long way to go. So I hope that I will be able to contribute a little bit more into my investment accounts before the year runs out. So to recap, number one, my income has gone up, and number two, I belong to a group of friends where we encourage each other to save a certain amount of money every month. And contributing to schemes like this ensures that every month you must set aside and save that amount of money and wait for when it is your turn to get everything that has been contributed by every member of the group. So how exactly do I plan to take my investment portfolio from where it currently sits at to $200,000 invested? And the plan is simple. I will continue to do exactly what I am doing. Let's say nothing happens to the stock market, the predicted crash never comes to pass, and everything continues and stays as is. I believe that maybe I save another $10,000 this year, and then next year I keep up the same energy, and I believe that at this pace, between now and the end of 2027, with the rate at which I am saving and investing, I should be able to hit $200,000 from my savings and returns that I will be getting from the amount of money that I already have saved and invested in the stock market. So that is it for today's video. And if you enjoyed this kind of content, like, drop a comment, and subscribe to the channel and help me hit my first 1,000 subscribers. The platforms that I use for my investment journey are both Simple and Questrade. And if you are interested in starting your own journey, I have links in the description of this video. So feel free to use my referral links and start your own investment journey.